Hello, hello.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. We have a crowd today. This is exciting. Wow. Okay. We've got 100 people here already, and we just started this. This is incredible. I think this is going to be an amazing session. I'm going to give it a few minutes because there are still, not a few minutes, but a few seconds, and let
I
people
know
in.
we're mid-month, so I don't want to keep everybody.
And I'm going to ask y'all to mute yourselves until we are ready to uh, give Jared our questions. But I'm still letting an awesome session. I hope everyone came prepared with their questions because there's a lot of folks here. I know Jared's got a ton of great stuff to share while we're waiting on everybody else to join. So there seems to be more and more people joining by the second. I'm just gonna run through some business stuff and kick it off here. So first of all, I just want to welcome everyone to Broker Connect and say hello. My name is Kelley Galloway. I do marketing here at Arrive. I'm so glad everyone could join us today on this beautiful Friday. For those who don't know, Broker Connect is an interactive bi-weekly meeting with top brokers and Arrive users where you can learn best practices, get insights into how other people are using the system, and just walk away with a ton of tips. So I'm here today with Jared Kelley. I'm super excited to have him here. Before I turn it over to him to introduce himself and before we open up the floor to your questions, I just have a few pieces of business to take care of. So I'll run through that quickly. Okay, so if you aren't aware, we have a ton of weekly learning opportunities, and these are all completely free. We have an onboarding session offered every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific. This is really step one of your Arrive training if you're a new user. Then, speaking of new users, we also have two sessions of new user training every Tuesday and Thursday. Part one is at 10 a.m. Pacific. Part two is at 12 p.m. Pacific. Those are both 90 minutes long. They're extremely comprehensive. You will walk away knowing a ton about the system. We have Arrive Live Q&A with our product experts. This is for this month. That is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is at noon Pacific. We will be shifting that back to 5 days a week, Monday through Friday after this month. But for this month, it is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you can actually join that session right after this session is done. That'll be happening again at 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Arrive University is every other Friday. This is where you can learn all about the updates and enhancements to the Arrive platform. This is run by our CEO, Harish. This is really a can't miss session. If you want to stay updated on everything Arrive, make sure you are joining those Arrive University sessions that happen on opposite weeks that Broker Connect is happening. So when Broker Connect is happening, that obviously means that Arrive University is not happening and we switch bi-weekly. And then, of course, we have this one every other Friday, which is just where you can gain a ton of knowledge and again, walk away with a ton of tips. So I want to thank everyone for being here. All of these events, more info plus signing up, you can do that at arrive.com/events. Again, these are all completely free for our users. All right. That is the most you will hear me talk throughout this entire session. I will leave it up to our experts from here on out. So I do want to introduce Jared. And Jared, why don't you give us a little bit of background on you and your team and all of that good stuff?
Wow, thank you, Kelley. Background is we share a common name,
Yeah.
spelled the same way.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you get it misspelled all the time because I do as well. But what I want to mention just before I even get into my story is again just being so thankful for the community. We cannot forget that we, as brokers, as lenders, as human beings, we're all part of this community, this roller coaster ride that we get to live on every single day. And I'm sure you guys just got off the Calyx Point and the Encompass training. No, you didn't. No, they didn't have this special thing for you, right? So I'm so grateful that we are part of a LOS and a POS platform that is a community, not just supposed to be this random tool that we're told to use. So so thankful for that out of the gate. Number two, I am Jared Kelley. I thank you, anyone that texted me, called me, sent me an email of like, oh my gosh, I got to jump on. You're going to talk on this thing. So thank you for the love this week as the marketings went out uh, to the people that are on here. My story is I'm a farm boy from Indiana. So if I can do it, you can do it. Went to a small school in Indiana, Indiana Wesleyan University, studied marketing and ended up in business. And
Go Hoosiers.
yeah, the
Right, go,
Hoosiers. Let's go.
man. That's just crazy. They're just like they're on
No, no,
fire.
boiler up, boiler up.
Oh, come
And the
on, let's go.
what
Hey,
and about the Colts?
hey, we'll
The
take
Colts
anyone
are
from Indiana. If you're referencing that, I know you're a hard worker with a heart.
yeah,
So let's
right.
go. Um, so ended up in California, been in real estate. Kind of my journey with that is I believe real estate is a safety net. That's how that was part of my story. And you know, we literally my dad cut down trees in our woods to like rough cut logs to make that in plain sealed planes jointed. I mean, I learned everything. I learned how to plumb, wire, pull wire from my dad when we were building the house. So come from a different background than a lot of people, and I think because of that, tech I fell in love with technology, not to replace the humanness, but to enhance the humanness, and to enhance what we can do as advisors and as people that want to build long-standing relationships with not only our clients but with our teams. And I started on the real estate side, so was a realtor for about 10 years, built a brokerage. I sold that, tried to get out of the industry, and in 2017 when I sold that, there was a company that I was like, nah, I'm just gonna get out. And the lender that I sent all my business to was like, hey, we're kind of like running out of some leadership, and we'd love for you to be a part of our team. And then we ended up doing a move, and I helped a company build a pretty mellow CRM. And if I'll just leave it there, and anyone that got that reference can get that reference, and was kind of a realtor liaison and helped build some things with that. Got to travel the country and look at CRMs, look at platforms, and then lived in the retail world of doing loans, and was so frustrated by the 13,000 tabs that I had to click on um, to do a loan and put things in special spots and do the secret handshake. And I forget it now, but what is like the code to go look up the cell where I had to go put the control? Someone will put it in the chat right now and encompass the special code that you had to put in to find the cell to go find the spot. Yeah, Brent Clifford got it. Control G. Where is that thing? And moved over to the broker world, and one of my demands was I have to use Arrive. I have to be on this system. Um, and it's grown a lot in the last 4 years for me doing that. Literally, we were on another system, and the company agreed to we split an employee to take the data from Arrive and put it in their other system, because I was like, I'm going to be the groundbreaking person to move this entire company to Arrive. And today, we're probably one of the biggest users on Arrive. So at Barrett Financial. So I'm at Barrett. We run a branch. We call it the Brotail version. Again, trying to supply support like the retail world, but giving pricing of the Brotail. And again, just in the process of really trying to build and grow still today. We had one of our best months last month. Not just because of technology, not just because of AI. We use all those things, but because we're advisors first, and we use our tools to be advisors. So, Kelly, is that good enough intro on
Oh
who
my
we are,
gosh,
what we do?
amazing. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Incredible. So obviously we are super lucky to have Jared here answering questions. I just want to remind everyone how this session works. So this session really works as well as you work it. So I'm not here to ask Jared questions. These are your questions. And I know that he has a lot to talk about. Obviously, he is a wealth of information and knowledge, and he's here to share it all. So if you have a question, now is the time. You can raise your hand. There is a way to raise your hand in Zoom. You can also just take yourself off of mute and hop right into the conversation. If for some reason your microphone isn't working, or maybe you're feeling a little bit shy, although we don't encourage shyness here, you can always drop your question into the chat and we will ask it for you. But we love having that conversation. So I encourage everyone to take themselves off mute and let's get this conversation going. What questions do we have?
I have a quick question. I have a $5 million state commercially zoned that I'm looking for a home for. So if you have any resources, it's outside of Houston, so it's Texas. It's a high profile client that I'm trying to find some sort of commercial bridge, something quick that I could get them wrapped up on. If
Not that this is what this class is about, but call me afterwards. I probably have something.
okay, what's your number?
Six
If you
one
don't mind.
nine 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 three 6065. That's the best number if we want to call me to take me on a date.
619
I'm married,
993.
so nothing's gonna happen afterwards, but we can go grab a beer.
All right.
You're
Well,
paying
steaks and lobster. If you help me with this one, I'll tell you. I've been um, I'm sorry, one more time. 619 993.
619-993-6065 is my personal cell. Greg,
That last
what you
four
got?
cut out.
I got a couple
So,
things. Is there any way to turn off certain things that happen automatically?
What do you mean by
You
certain
set up a
things?
file and it requires it automatically posts a certain date in there. It's not the date you want. You just to see everything is free form instead of pushed through by Arrive. Another example would be it requires you have a lender name in there. Sometimes you don't want to have one in there. Just is there any way to toggle things off and on that you don't want to be forced through?
I think that's a Kelly. Maybe you can help with that a little bit
Yeah,
on just
does someone
technical
on our
question.
yeah,
Yeah.
does someone on our team want to jump in about that?
Yeah, so like hey, this is Vince here with Arrive.
Hey Vince.
Hey, so there aren't like a lot of like hard requirements. The only point where we'd ask for a lender is if you're moving the loan into like a disclosed like a status where there would be a lender. It's not like when you're just trying to work an application, we're not requiring a lender per se. If you're trying to set up the fees, for example, we do ask for a lender at that point, but that's something you can change later. We just want a baseline of like this lender's fees. We want you to pick a rate so we know from our marketplace the cost of that rate. That just helps us like populate accurate fees for you. But there shouldn't be like a hard stop where you can't, work an application without a lender or things like that.
The reason I ask this, Vince, is that we never use Arrive for generating LEs or anything because the lenders do that.
Yeah.
So it just adds extra work to put in data that you're not using. So if I could just turn certain functionality off at my discretion, it would be very valuable because it's just extra time and energy.
Yeah. I'll kind of show you how I use that. I'll share my screen. I'm in just a dummy file of myself.
All right, Jared,
And
thanks.
maybe this would be helpful for just what you're looking at. So I'm in the product and pricing. I don't even know what loan this is. I'm gonna price it. Some things are gonna pop up. And I assume this is what you're talking about. I gotta click and close. I gotta push apply because now I gotta push this so I can do a fees worksheet and push it in. I think one of the best ways to use this, and part of the reason I want to show this is this information doesn't get pushed to the consumer. So let's say I did want to compare this on rate. I want to go 5.75, then I want to come down. Oops. Let me go back to results. Which is cool. We just did that. I'm going to click on a rate and let's say I want to show something with a pretty big rebate, right? So I'm going to click here and show this. And now I'm comparing those two offers. So even though it shows up here too, the name, that's the benefit for you as the user of where did I get this loan that doesn't get pushed through to the consumer. So even though it's showing those things, and then the same thing on fees, if you haven't used this tool to include the fees and send it out in your mortgage quote, how quick was that? That I just produced two different completely fee sheets with showing different cash to close from the borrower. This one only is 1,800. This one's 4,300. I did 2 clicks of a button, just click on different rates. I can do the same thing comparing prices. I sent one out yesterday for a borrower that wanted to know, well, what if my loan's at 900, a million, or 1.1? I just did a side by side of each of those things in this and gave them a fee sheet to show cash to close for each of those things. So
Jared,
I
can you do that again? That was too fast for me, but I love it.
yeah.
Like, wait a minute, how did he do that?
Yeah, that's why we're here. So I'm in the product and pricing. The loan's already set up. It's just running a broker channel, broker lender paid. And all you're going to do is price the loan. And it's a couple easy clicks, right? This one's already at 5.75. I'm just going to click on that box. And then if I populate this down to show more rates, I click on the other rate that I want, and we can see it's been updated here. And I just click on the box again, and now it's selected. You can select up to 3 products to compare. Now, what if I say, oh, I want to do it at a different, this is a 100% financed VA loan. What if I then wanted to show an FHA at 96.5? So you can actually even show different loan products. I reprice this, it still saves my compare. I click on this one, and now I got all 3 in here. So not only can you compare different prices, different fees, you can compare different products to send to your borrower as
You
well.
put the VA and the FHA in the same thing.
Yep. So I'm representing this one's VA.
Yeah.
These are both VA, and this one is FHA. It's representing all 3 of those in
And
the
then-
same.
Oh, that's cool. And then the VA thing, you just click VA and then you just put the different rates, and then that's how the first 2 columns came out.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how these 2 are comparing a rate, and this one's comparing a different product. Now I could
Hmm.
switch the price, right? Like infinite possibilities to how you want to send these. And then here's a really cool part. So if I send this, I'm not going to send it. It would do the same thing if I sent it. I hit download. It saves this in your file. So you can always go back and reference it, and it's just saved under loan quotes.
Jared,
Yes.
this is Alice. Here's a question. On those, is there a way to highlight or draw with a pen, like the certain features you want to point out to the client before you send it? Because
That's
I'm
a
currently
great,
have to download them and print them and then open it and highlight in Adobe and send it via regular email.
man, you're giving ARIVE some firepower there.
Because
Probably
it'd be nice
something
to
that,
like point out, highlight the monthly payment, the closing costs, the interest rate, like the important things they care about so they stand out a little bit more.
yep. So again, not a way to do it necessarily right here, but you could record a Loom video. So I'm gonna go through this again just to build another one because I switched over that. So if I price this loan, oops, select a lender, price this loan,
Let's just do a simple fee sheet.
send one out, compare, include fees, go over this. I would recommend just recording a Loom video, right? There's a couple reasons for that. Loom's going to tell you how much they watched it or whatever whatever tool you use for that. And when you hit send quote, just put that video in here. Because you can just control paste the Loom link, and it's going to show up right in this email.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you
Loom
mean?
video, yeah.
So what do
Yeah,
you
First
mean?
just
time
like a
caller.
Loom video, any platform that you use to record, you know.
Oh, so you're recording a message to them.
Yeah, yep,
In,
Oh, I
in
get it.
another app, right?
yep, and another app.
Hey, Jared, could I add to this too?
Yeah,
If you could click that cancel button for me, and then go ahead and click that download button at the bottom of the screen. You don't even need to leave ARIVE at this point. If you go into the documents after you click download, like the documents file, part of the Arrive file. Let's
Or the loan
see.
quotes.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of the fee sheet because someone mentioned the fee sheet. I just tested this out with a simple fee sheet. When you download an IFW from the review fees tab, it'll go into the documents section, and within documents you can draw on a document in documents tab. So I mean, you could take the one more step of just uploading that quote you just downloaded into documents, but within documents in Arrive, you can draw on and edit, and then you can send a document out from the documents section.
Yeah, and I think this is all great. I mean, videos are great to send, drawing on documents great because there's that visual. Our best practice, or the way that we do it, we send those out. I always recommend then getting on a Zoom call or an in-person meeting with the client, yourself, and their realtor. That is how you're going to show value to the realtor, ask for referrals for that realtor, get on the same page. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, this person's looking in this part of San Diego for $1 million. Do you feel like it's possible that we could get an offer accepted for that? No. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to go ahead and do those gift funds that we were talking about because we got to move up to 1.5 million, right? Now we're all on the same page. And I'm not saying Arrive can't do it all. You can send it out, you can blast it, but when I always think about what I shared in the beginning, how do I become more human to my clients? How do I prove that I'm the advisor and not a commodity? I use the technology to enhance that and say, hey, here's this beautiful page. Let's set up a Zoom call to go over it together, just so we're on the same we're on the same team, and you're bulletproof when we're going to go make that offer and get that offer accepted, or we want to do a 2-1 buy down. You guys all know how to do the 2-1 buy down, like easiest process ever in Arrive, right? I'll show you if you don't know.
Yes, can you please show that?
Yes. So if you're doing a 2-1 buy down, literally all you have to do is click on interest rate buy down, 2-1, lender paid, hit summary. Oops, I gotta select a product.
Go back, do that again, start again.
I'll do it again. So I'm selecting a product. So this is from the beginning. I'm just gonna apply this. I didn't have a product selected, so it didn't know what I was doing the 2-1 buy down on. So now that I've selected a product, again, this is kind of your point at the beginning of, yeah, I've arbitrarily picked a loan program, but that's what we do when we're doing pre-approvals. We're arbitrarily picking something. Then we're going to scroll down on the loan and property tab to interest rate buy down. I'm going to select what buy down that I want to look at. In this case, I'll look at a 2-1. I'll hit summary. This is going when the realtor's like, hey, tell me how much it's going to be. I can easily look at this and guess what? Print this and send it to the client, the realtor, whoever is asking for it, and say, yeah, go ahead and ask for a total of $18,000 or whatever percentage that we're looking for. It looks like I'm missing a
Quick question on that. Here, when we do the 2-1 buy down or 3-1 buy down, the DTI is on what the loan at the final
note
rate
rate.
or on the
Note
note
rate.
rate? Okay.
Yeah, it's always
Got
going to be. Well, talk to the lender. I don't know anyone that doesn't do it differently than note rate, but if you do find out someone that does it differently than note rate, call me because I can do a lot more loans. Tan, question, you got your hand up there.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. So on a VA Earl, could you just walk through really quickly how you would compare maybe two options, and then how you would roll closing costs into that VA loan so that you end up with no cash to the borrower or less than $500.
Yeah, so
I'm not sure how you do that. So
yeah, check with the lender that you're working with too, just to make sure they don't have an AVM model that they run something through the VA guidelines. I do a lot of VA.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Hey, sir, in the best interest, like if I could assist you with the VA, what's your name?
Are you talking to me? Tane?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just offering my help, but
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I can quickly go through it. because I think that is a hard thing to do. I mean, you're gonna have to do some math or get a payoff to really figure out from the Earl what amount they're paying and how many months their
Yeah.
payments they're gonna have. So let's just say that you're gonna close the first week of the month, get that payoff. You're gonna need to add that number in if you've done it just a soft pull. I don't know if I mean, most via Earls, you're just gonna need to do a soft pull on.
Sure.
So pull that number in, make sure you have that as a payoff. And then I'll briefly go through fees. I mean, anything that you're gonna use for fee, you're not gonna have an appraisal, right? So,
Yeah, the fees I've got pretty dialed. What I'm
okay,
trying to figure out is how you would just solve for a new loan amount by rolling all the closing costs in. So obviously the VA funding fees added in
yeah,
automatically, but is there a way to, click on a button or check mark to roll those fees in on an Earl so that obviously assuming we've got a payoff and that sort of thing, but initially I'm looking for quoting someone, here's about what it would be, if that makes sense.
yeah. So you have to have the payoff in. I think that's the biggest piece that people have a misconception on, of just getting,
Okay.
taking the loan of the last loan. Some people add another payment to it, right? Because you're gonna have that interest that's in
Mm-hmm.
arrears, and then you're gonna have
Yep.
interest until you pay it off. So you could probably add 45 days of interest
Yep.
on. Once you have that number, adjust your loan principal amount to that number would be the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would just take your funds to close that it shows here and add it to your loan amount and get it within $500,
Okay. So
right?
just kind of being a noob, so you just roll that total amount into your loan amount
Well, it's
then
up to the
somehow.
borrower, right? So if they're impounding the
Mm-hmm.
the taxes and insurance, just you can put that all in. They're gonna get like a little mini cash out too, because they're gonna get those
Sure.
impounds back from the other loan if
Right.
you're not netting the impounds.
Right.
So it's up to the borrower, but most of the loans we do, we I usually recommend getting enough credit. Again, this is strategy, but enough credit to cover the actual costs, meaning not necessarily the funding fee, but the title escrow, because those are like real costs. So you maybe
Mm-hmm.
need, I don't know, 1,100, $1,200 to cover that. And then everything else I just wrap into the loan, or say, hey,
Yeah.
if you want to keep your principal balance the same, you're going to come in with this amount. If not, and you could do that same kind of guess. But
Yeah.
you need to somewhat know the payoff, right? Because
Sure.
that
Totally.
is a
Yeah.
bigger number that will surprise
Yeah.
people, because
Yeah.
interest is in arrears, right?
Totally. So when you add that to your loan, when you just did that drop down of 8,000 and now it's 7,700,
Yeah.
do you just go back and increase your loan amount by that
Yep.
amount? Is that what you would do? Okay.
Yeah. In this case, it's a purchase, but on a refinance, it's gonna only pay off to the payoff amount, right? So
Right.
as you move the loan amount number, it's gonna look at the closing costs now, and the loan's
Mm-hmm.
gonna cover that. So you're gonna cover your payoff, and you're gonna cover your closing costs, and then you're gonna net somewhere close to zero.
And take that. So you would bump your base loan amount if it's let's say it's a $500,000 payoff and there's 10,000 in costs and prepaids. You would just put your
Yeah.
loan amount at 810 or 510.
510, exactly. Yep. And then, I
Okay.
mean, this is, if you don't know about these kind of cheat sheet tools at the top, I
Yeah.
use these all the time. It kind of gives you a breakdown of all kind of the stuff that's happening under those cheat sheets. Debt to
Yeah.
income and funds to close, FTC,
Yeah.
is kind of one of the best cheat sheets to use at this top bar.
Yeah. And if you were to give this guy, in this example, a quote, could you just quickly jump back in and show how you would run that quote? You would go down to loan quotes, but if you just wanted to show one, not compare, how would you do that? And sorry
Yeah,
for
you
the
do the
new
same thing.
question.
You do one loan quote. It's just going to be one product on it instead of
Okay, and then how did you get to that one screen that you showed us a minute ago,
Yeah, great.
when you went to loan quotes?
Yeah, so make sure you have some lender picked. You're going to price the
Yep.
loan,
Right.
and then literally whatever you click on. So if I click on
Yep.
this, it's now built that as my one quote to compare. I hit compare, and it just
Okay.
has the one.
Sorry. Yep. Got it. So you
And
hit
then
compare again.
and then you can include the fees. I think you can change that as a setting too, to just always include, but
Initial fees. And so when you include fees, then it's going to change that. Okay, cool.
I
I
was just
think
gonna add
that
the
helps a
second page
ton.
on.
Hey, Jared. This is Chris Butler with Barrett up in Seattle. So
Hey,
good to see
Chris.
you.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing, I was an early adopter of Arrive as well. I've been using it for 4+ years. One of the big things, and I think you addressed it, is when you go in to make those quotes, I utilize quotes. And one thing you might want to show too that I've found out is comparing, if you're doing refi, comparing their current mortgage
Yep.
as well and adding that in. So that might be something cool for the group to see. But my thing is, a lot of times I'll go into this and I'll realize my fees aren't correct. I'll be like, oh shoot, I got to go back and fix my fees, and then I lose all my progress that I made. Do you just go and do download? You'll just download it so it's now on your loan quotes, even if you're not finished with it? Is that what you do typically?
Yeah, we'll download it and adjust that. But again, just to make sure everyone knows this button, because I didn't know it existed for a long time. This little edit button, you can edit these fees live and save it in here too. So you're like, oh crap, I forgot to put my I do actually probably want to run this correspondent, even though I priced it broker. You can go throw in a processing fee.
Yeah,
So
I
when
do
you,
that. The question I
sorry.
have is like a lot of times I'll use smart fees, right? And like,
Mhm.
let's say I don't have them all. I go in, it's just the blanket fees. I think there's just automatic fees that go in there if you don't run smart fees. So they go back. Is there a way that you can kind of save your progress on it? This is a challenge that it almost seems like you have to start over.
I
Once
don't know
you
a
go
way
out
of
of the
that.
screen.
I think the way you're doing it is I would pick a product, assign smart fees, then go back. You can set rules with fees, and hopefully I can find this pretty quickly. Or one of the Arrive people can help me with where closing costs here. So you can set rules in here, and I've set a decent amount of rules of, so on loan amounts for this amount, it's gonna have this fee. For loan amounts of this amount, it's gonna have this fees. You could do different states, and the information that you have pulled in, so is going to change that settlement fee. So here's kind of all the different rules that you could set up. You could say if it's single family, apply. I mean, you could go in
Yeah.
infinite if then statements
But you
and
can,
arrive. And that's kind of, if it's in Kentucky, do this fee. If it's in this state, do this.
but you can
Got it.
save all that, right? You can save
Yep.
it.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
in my
If
settings
you,
right now. I'm just going to save that as a closing cost template.
yeah, so you can save it. As
Yeah.
soon as you edit, you save it, right?
I
I
can
mean,
do
you're
different
right. At the end of
templates.
the day, these are estimated fees. Kind of keep them as simple as possible. Like yeah, you're not going to get them super accurate.
Yeah, right.
Correct. Correct. It's a ballpark, right?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, if it's a refi, if it's an Earl, if it's a most, I don't know, if you're doing a decent amount of loans, I would go to your settlement provider, whoever you're using for that, and pre-negotiate some fees. Like I've done that, and we know what our fees are. We don't know title, because that fluctuates and they have a preset, but you could definitely pull that in from somewhere else too. But smart fees gets it close enough for us to have a sales conversation.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Jared, that's some great information, man. I'm the new kid on the block. I just started my shop, and Tan asked basically the question that I wanted to know about the refi. And Chris, you jumped in with being able to put the existing loan right next to it. So that's something I'm definitely going to do. My question is, are these videos being archived so I can go back and watch them again? Because I kind of feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose here. It's a lot of great information, and I want to be able to go back and check it out.
They're recording, right?
Are they archived, and where can I access them?
YouTube, baby.
Oh,
Just call me. Call me and
okay.
we can set something up. I try to be the guy that helps people, right? Like, I don't care what shop you're at or what you're doing. Like, I want to win. I want you to win. I just want to win a little more than you. So try to outwork me. It's not gonna happen. Let's smile together, right? Like, let's be in as I stated at the beginning, like, this is a community, guys. Like, the 150 people that are in this room now, I want to hustle with you guys. You're showing up, you're gonna make it happen. let's go, right? Like, so just call me 619-993-6065 is myself, and we win together.
Can you repeat that number again?
Excuse me, can you repeat slowly the name, the number, please?
Yeah. I don't, Kelley, is there a way that I could just send out a QR code or something at the
Drop
end?
it into the chat.
Yeah, if you want to drop it into the chat for us. Or
Yeah.
actually, you did already. I'm gonna
Yeah, we did. The number's already in the
Perfect.
chat. It's
Thank you.
just put it
It's
in
better,
there
it's
again.
better.
It's
And
in the
Kelley,
chat,
if
guys.
Kelley, if there's any way that you could go get my Google review link,
Oh yeah.
that'd be super helpful too. If you could throw that in, guys, if you find this helpful and you could leave me a review, that's super meaningful, right? Strategy, like think about if you got like any workshop that I do, any piece where I'm providing value. Again, I think this is what we're here for. Always ask people to review you on your Google review. If you found value in this, would you guys just mind, like, the currency that you could exchange to me is just leave me a review. So Kelley, if you could find that link and post it in the chat, that'd be amazing. Jared Kelley, real estate home planner, I think it's what it is on Google.
Hey Jared, are you utilizing the leads aspect of Arrive? Have you
Great question.
like
So
have you set like the rate watch alerts and all that kind of stuff? Have you dabbled with that at all?
all right, so this goes into my background of building CRMs and stuff. I actually built something when I was in retail, so frustrated, similar to Arrive. I didn't have a pricing engine built in, and I didn't have all the complexity. I spent about 100 grand on building that, and when I first used Arrive, the next week I threw that away. I threw away $100,000 because Arrive was just so much better. And I focused on the before and after. So I rebuilt what I had to being the before and after, exactly what you're describing, the during, the triggers, how we operate, the ecosystem we live off of. And I'm actually combining that with another platform right now. So we use a platform called MX, this multiplier, from the management level and just understanding where things exist and those triggers and AI and building. And then the CRM we use is called the Loan Tracker, which we built, and we're actually combining those two pieces together to take to market as a huge add-on to the before and after and trigger pieces of Arrive. So, man, great question.
Well,
I have
I
two
bring
more,
it up because
Jared, if you don't
there's a
mind.
bit. Oh, go ahead.
One is real simple. If you go under the financials, I see where you put in if they're paid hourly, it automatically calculates, you know, the income for you at the rate hours per week. When you do something under salary, can you add a box where you could just type in the annual salary and Arrive automatically shoots out the monthly?
I'll look. I don't know if I don't think there's an annual piece.
But there's
I'm the
not.
guy
But
that still has
there's one for
this
hourly
sitting on
that
my
they.
desk. Like, this is my best friend.
But you guys added the hourly in the last year because the hourly wasn't there before. So you built that in and added under the hourly rate in hours per week, so it automatically calculates. Why can't you do that for the salary?
Yeah,
so
Jared built it
maybe
himself,
there'll
I
be a
heard.
toggle here that's in that could be put on the list of switching this from yearly.
But just something to think about, because if you figured it out for hourly, they could figure it out for the annual.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I do want to show.
So I was going to say, just a reminder, Jared doesn't work for Arrive. So he unfortunately can't give all the feedback. He is just doing this out of the kindness of his heart because he's so successful and wonderful, wants to give you all of his own tips. So we work for Arrive. I work for Arrive. And if you have feedback for us, we love feedback. We take all of your feedback. You can email it to feedback@arrive.com. These don't just go into the ether. We actually track these pieces of feedback. So feel free to send that over to us.
Will do.
I do want to show something with it. We're using so feedback on that same boat. Need a analyze income button for rental properties, which I think that's coming. But if you have a self-employed borrower that is more than 25%, use the worksheets that are in Arrive. Your whole team can see it. Your processor can see it. Just pick is it on their individual tax returns as Schedule C? Is it on a 1065 or 1120, right? So I'm going to say it's on a this income's on a 1065 form. If I save this, I can now hit analyze income. I can pop into this and it's going to have, I changed my base year to the last year that they filed taxes. So the year they were on, 2025, most people haven't filed taxes. So I put, I put the year that we are on, right? So now I'm going to use 24 and 23 taxes, and you literally just go line by line using this as your income worksheet. It spits out the amount at the end and saves it into Arrive so everyone can see it. How amazing is that?
Very cool. Thank you.
Do a quick example. You know, they make 300,000 on their K1 and they have 20,000 depreciation. And I got to make sure I put in their percentage of ownership, right? They own 100% of the business. And I'm going to go out for K1 income. It's going to say their monthly income. It just figured that out. So the way you get Arrive to do your annual income, just work with more self-employed borrowers. Then it'll do it for you. And then you can say you want a 1-year average, a 2-year average. What do you want it to look like? Or do you want to override that 1-year average? And I hit save and close. It's just going to populate that income automatically into my Arrive. Pretty cool.
Hey, Jared.
Suzanne.
Jared.
She's had her hand up for a long time.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I wasn't going to be shy. I was told not to. So I'm a small broker shop, but I've been trying to run my call reports from Arrive and running into issues with the income because it's a set amount. It's just my percentage. And I did support, and they told me that I couldn't change it because it would mess up all the other algorithms. Like if I go broker paid and get paid less. Do you have any experience with that?
I do. I don't own a broker shop anymore, and I moved to Barrett Financial, so I don't have to do that anymore.
That's your advice, right?
I quit the pain and just focused on doing business. So
Production.
like for sure, honestly, that is my real honest answer is I just don't deal with that anymore. I don't know the answer. Someone else in Barrett does that for me, and I pay a very nominal fee per file to let them do that. So sorry that that's the answer, but I don't know the answer. Maybe someone from Arrive can help pop in and say.
That's okay. Everything else has been great. Good information. Jared, I have a question on early upon when you showed like you can send it to realtor what you are quoting this borrower. Can you do, or you can send it to a client, I believe that's what you said. Can you send the realtor and borrower at the same time from the app? Then everyone is in the same loop that what you sent, different option to the borrower?
Yes. So again, I'll just go through that again. I'm just pricing a loan. This is the pricing screen again, so everyone can see this. I'm clicking on just one of these. I'm hitting compare. If I hit send quote, it's going to send it to all the borrowers on the file. And then if there are other people on the file, I can pick those people. So if this is a real estate agent, it's not, I don't think you can change this setting, but maybe Arrive people can step in. I can then go, I don't know if I can manually say every time send it to the real estate agent, but I can go pick that, which people I want to send it to. I can adjust this note. I could add that video, right? I could put in this is where I was talking about before, put in my YouTube or Loom video and insert that message right here and send it out.
And second question is, like, I'm also a new broker owner, so I just wanted to see like if we can create our own some dummy files and just play around until the client, when you start working with the client, are we able to do like just to play around with the system, what it can do?
Again, maybe not on a client.
I wish I could say good, but the deal.
There we go. We're doing good in here, guys. If anyone asks you how it's going, it's unbelievable, right? That covers good and bad. It's just unbelievable. But I mean, I just have this as my name in here, or I have one that's just called buyer, right? That I'll send out as a quote. just because I'm never going to trigger that. But again, refer to your national and state clients' laws on what you need to do if you've triggered something. Daniel?
Yeah, actually, question sparked when you were looking at the income, plugging in income on there. So I'm new to Arrive, new to Barrett. So getting my feet wet here. When you have a variable income borrower, that then your monthly number is not just a set, 40-hour calculation. It seems like Arrive just only does the hourly rate as a fixed. How have you handled when you do variable number
My
for that?
LOA does it. No, I think those are mostly manual, right? That's pretty nuanced,
Yeah.
right? So is it increasing, decreasing? When did it happen? Has it happened for a year, 2 year? What are the guidelines in which you're trying to move from? Is this a second job? Straight variable, we're getting VOEs and then just plugging in those numbers from the VOE.
So then from just the practicality of plugging the number in, what do you click and Arrive to, because it won't let you plug in that I can see, right? Just like
Yeah,
the basic,
so
if you
I'm
go,
just gonna put that as
you
a
just put it as a
salary.
salary. Got it.
Or I'm gonna put it as an hourly and I'm gonna break it down, right? So even if it's a variable income, I'm still gonna get to use their current hourly rate. I'm just gonna use an average or the appropriate amount of hours. So if they were making $25 an hour, they're making 30. Again, this is more guidelines, right? But and they're 25 hours a week, and then they're getting, I got from their 2 previous year-end pay stubs or the VOE, and their bonus for that year was 12 grand. I'm gonna throw in $1,000. I'm gonna do the math because this is all based on monthly, and then I'm gonna save that.
So you're still pulling like an average hours and then can to calculate it that way. Cool.
Correct.
All right.
The other piece that I think Arrive does really, really well is these red flags are real. They're amazing. Let's just pretend there's a start date of, let's go forward a little bit to, oh yeah, here we go. And this is the current job. It's going to tell me how long I've been at this job for 2 years, and it's going to bring in another gap. If I was at another job a long time ago, right? I started here and ended here. It's going to pull in this gap. How cool is that? So make sure you're putting your school in, you're putting all the information in for your employment that you can verify, because it's going to auto figure your gaps. And then you can use this to write your LOEs or anything else you need to do to build your income story, right? So really, really cool part.
Hello, Jared. Let me ask the question. My name is Roger Bond. Let me ask the question. Is the borrower have 2 works at the same time? What can I do here?
That's a question for your broker or for I don't know. What guideline, that's a product question. So not really a Arrive question or a system question.
On the financial information, here in the same in the same place
Yeah,
when you add here when you add the income, the borrower has have 2 works at the same
oh, they
time.
have 2 jobs?
Yeah.
You can make 2 current. So this is job 2, right?
Okay.
Again, it's a pure, it's going to count the income because you told Arrive to count the income. It's a pure guideline thing if you can actually include it. If they've only been at this job for a little bit about a time, like, so Arrive's going to count this as income, both of these as income, because I put them both as current. Does that make sense? I check this box to show it's a current job. I'm only making one of them primary because only one can be for the same borrower. Another quick tip, if you're confused on where the income is, if there's multiple borrowers, this is a great place to go in and make sure you have your income going to your right borrower, and you don't have to delete it and re-put it in.
Jared, I have a question
Yeah.
on kind of a different topic. I'm new to Arrive, loving it, every minute of it. But I've been working on setting up my application system, and I'm struggling right now with the automated needs that go out, and I'd like to change the wording in the automated needs. I feel like there's too many words and too many things, but I can't find access to all of them. I only see like some of them, the ones that I put in there.
Yeah, so you read my mind on another big tool that I want to make sure we talked about. So I've updated several of these needs lists. The ones so you can build a new rule or a need or a condition, or when this need happens, or even an inquiry. How cool is this? You can just ask a question. If someone were, so this would be a great example of this, is someone is a active duty military person and you need to gather their childcare expense. If they just select their active duty, you could make a question happen every single time for them to say, what is your childcare expense? And it just becomes a task on their portal for them to complete. So a task, when the borrower sees it, the client needs, it could be a document that they need to sign. It could be a document they need to upload. It could be a question they need to answer. They all just show up as tasks to the borrower, right? And you know if those are completed or not. So,
I just feel like there's a lot of them that are already preloaded in the system that I don't get to see, that are showing up on my loans that I don't necessarily like how they're worded. So is there a super secret spot where I can go see all of
where
the
they'll
needs
be,
that are already
Alicia.
in the system?
This is where they'll be.
This is where they'll
Yeah.
be.
So you would just make it inactive, or you would change what this says, right?
But there's more than 8 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is just what I have.
Yeah, jump into your
Yeah.
account. Check it out.
Alicia, are you a company admin or are you just a loan
I
officer
am.
brokerage?
I am.
You're the
I'm the
company
company
admin?
admin, yes.
Okay, so if you might want to go access the company in the company settings, there's also a client need rules tab. So you have it
Okay.
at the user level and at the company level. So maybe that's the disconnect.
Okay. Well, if someone in support could call me, because I feel like I've looked at everything and I don't see all of them. I see select ones, but there's ones that I don't have access to.
I'll drop our support number in the chat. You can give us a call anytime.
Yeah.
Okay, I did. If
Perfect.
someone could call me, I did call support and I submitted a ticket and somebody emailed me a video. So if somebody could actually just call me, because the person I talked to when I called support said I was asking higher level questions than she knew how to answer. So if somebody could call me, then we could walk through it. That'd be really helpful.
Try giving us a call again, and I'll drop my name to the CSR team, and I'll try to get in touch with you. Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Vincent.
Amazing. This is a perfect example. Kelley, Regina, you have to tell me how much time we have left. So I don't want to, there's one other piece I want to mention, but
Go for it.
we work with a lot of military, right? So when the borrower military status is not in active service, we ask for a pay stub. But when they're active duty, I ask for an LES. That how much does that set me apart that I even know to do that? Right? Like that's the language that they're speaking. That makes me more of a human with that person. So the other piece that I just wanted to let me see if I can get back to this loan again without going the other day.
Jared, I have a question. I wasn't sure how to raise my hand if you have a minute. So
go for it.
I'm new to Arrive as well, and when I set up a file for like a refinance, it does do that trigger to disclose. How do you set up a file so like we're just waiting for like rates to be where we want them to be? How do you set it up so that you're not getting that trigger?
That'd be if you have if the aliens have landed, right? If all the points that are needed for that, then you gotta trigger it. That'd be a question for your broker on which things that you maybe don't need to include to not have that trigger. This is a really cool piece that so both for sending out docs and for gathering docs. If you don't know about this, you have to be a pro account, but people always, or some people maybe you're sending it to their their CPA, the client's requested. You can get a doc shareable link for them just to upload. You set an expiration date so they can't be throwing stuff in here forever. And then you can share this via email or copy this link. And this is just like a Dropbox that puts everything right into that file. So you can proactively give that where they don't have to have a login to do that. And the same thing, let's say I'm making a client needs. Again, I'm just going to auto generate some needs like we talked about before. And actually, let's delete a bunch of these and just pick one. Actually, I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to do it as a signature because I want to show another piece. I'm going to add a client need as a signature that we need. And you can use a public link. I would highly encourage this. This allows a link rather than having to invite the borrower to get into the system. If you click this link on when you send it to them, it's just like DocuSign. They click on the link, they can sign right there. They don't have to log in. It doesn't become a task. So especially if it's someone that's not in the system, you can add a recipient in here. So like a gift letter, you don't have necessarily the gifter in your Arrive account. You need to add them as a recipient and send that to the actual gifter of the gift letter. You don't have to make a whole Arrive account from them. You can just send it as a public link and send it directly to them. So I want to make sure I shared that. It's been a big time saver and tool for our team on how we operate. I didn't get a lot of time to go over just like how our team goes over everything. You guys had so many great questions. This was amazing.
We're going to have you back for a part 2. That's all that.
Let's go.
If you get enough Google reviews, we'll have you back for.
Oh man, we need at least 50 from today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, Jared, I just want to thank you for coming on. We're coming up at time here. If we have one more very quick question, we can take that.
Where are the settings? I'm sorry, I cannot find that for the. I'm just a loan officer, so I don't have administrative tools. But where are you guys finding that?
You click on that beautiful picture. That beautiful picture in the right hand corner.
Go Indiana, go Colts. See you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm out.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
You're gonna click on that beautiful picture in the right hand corner and go to your user settings.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. I think you have dropped a lot of knowledge here today, Jared. This was a lively and fiery session. I love to see it. I want to thank you so much for bringing the energy, bringing the crowd. This session has been recorded. It will be available on our YouTube channel very early next week. Jared gave out all of his personal information. Please do that man a favor. Leave him a review. Make sure you're saying kind words about him. If you're not a part of the Facebook, our ARIVE Facebook community, please join that. It's ARIVE Mortgage Brokers. You can find Jared there as well. And yeah, I just want to give a very huge shout out to Jared. We don't pay him to come on here and do these things. He did this out of the kindness of his heart and just spreading information to the community. So thanks so much for being here, Jared.
Yeah, and amazing. If you're a broker owner or someone else that is looking at CRMs or kind of admin level analytics, that is a system that we are building and bringing to market too that partners and complements ARIVE very well. So look out for that soon. Contact me if you would like your payroll, an easy step for payroll, or how to see what states all of your people are licensed in. We have a really cool tool for that. So excited to grow and build with the community. I appreciate you all because this is why we do it, right? Like we got to be in it together. So thank you guys. You guys fire me up.
All right. A big thank you again. I will see everyone back for another episode of Broker Connect in early December. We're taking a break for Thanksgiving, but we'll see you after then. Everyone have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jared.
Thank you, you too. Thank you. Thank you.